Attention. Welcome to the Different Spectrums podcast. We dive into the wild world of mental health discussions. Get ready for profound talks, a sprinkle of humor and sarcasm, and a touch of colorful language. Just a quick heads up, our show reflects our individual opinions, which may not align with the standpoint of the podcast, our featured guests, or any related corporate entities. Our mission? To illuminate through laughter and satire because everyone needs a good chuckle. Chill out and don't stress over the small stuff. Legal troubles? No, thank you. Cancel culture? Please spare us. We'd rather keep this space lawsuit free. So buckle up, have a good time, and join us as we navigate the vibrant realm of mental health on the Different Spectrums podcast. Hey everybody, we're back again.
Hey, we're back. We're live.
I'm Spencer, your co-host. Of course, we have our licensed clinical therapist, Nas.
Dr. Nas, how you doing?
There you go. Also, remember, don't take us too seriously.
Or do. Completely up to you.
There you go. Also, don't forget to rob those likes for us. We'd really appreciate it.
Yes.
So, our next guest is an Arab British autistic advocate, storyteller, and law student with a powerful voice for intersectionality and representation. She founded Thriving Neurodivergence and Don't Be an Ass to call out Aspie supremacy and uplift marginalized voices within the autistic community. She also is the author of writing about timelessness, butterflies. Sorry. Well, please welcome Zahraa Al-Jameel.
Oh,
Thank you. My name is Zahraa. My name is Zahraa Al-Jameel. I am a law student, an autistic advocate, and founder of Don't Be an Ass.
awesome. Thank you.
There you go. All right. So today we're going to be talking about the show Wednesday. We talked about this show before,
Wow ago.
but we're going to be talking about it in season 2. Some things that we're going to talk about is standing up for injustice, not repeating the past, and just having truth and honesty. Those great qualities. Nas, anything before we get into it?
Yeah, we'll touch on those. We'll touch on some other intersectional things too. Some of the reasons why I wanted you to have come on the almost podcast. I don't know what the hell I was about to say. And some of the things that me and you, I'm sure we've seen when it comes to folks representing themselves, white folks, folks of color, how we navigate that space because it's a smaller space with us, but a large crowd, but a smaller crowd. And maybe some of us voices don't get heard as much. So there's another reason why I wanted to have you come on too. Of course, we did it on Wednesday. I think we did some really therapy scenes. I remember that in the first season, and now we can get into some of the second season, also some black and white thinking. So we'll get in there and touch on that. What'd you say? Quality over quantity. That's what we're going to talk about. All right, let's do it. Whoop, whoop.
Whoop, whoop.
You got to say it too.
Oh, excuse me. Whoop, whoop.
Perfect.
Angry phone calls, emails, and people in the town, alumni and parents, they want answers, and so do I.
I would lead the Inquisition, but I left my thumbscrews and rack at home.
Miss Addams, you're already on thin ice. Wafer thin ice.
I swear on my late scorpion soul, my hands are clean.
I may not have hard evidence, but I see you. You're a trouble magnet.
If trouble means standing up to lies, decades of discrimination, centuries of treating outcasts like second-class citizens, or worse.
What are you talking about?
Jericho. Why does this town even have an outreach day? Don't you know its real history with outcasts? The actual story of Joseph Crackstone?
I do, to an extent.
Then why be complicit in its cover-up? Those who forget history are doomed to repeat it.
That's where you and I differ. Where you see doom, I see opportunity. Maybe this is a chance to rewrite the wrongs, to start a new chapter in the normie outcast relation.
Nothing has changed since Crackstone. They still hate us. Only now they sugarcoat it with platitudes and smiles. If you're unwilling to fight for the truth...
You don't think I want the truth? Of course I do. But the world isn't always black and white. There are shades of grey.
Maybe for you. But it's either they write our story or we do. You can't have it both ways.
You're exhausting.
I know.
Good night, Miss Addams. But you should know, I don't tire easily.
Tonight is our banquet of discontent, and we shall gladly feast on those who would subdue us. Our fight is just beginning, and I'm ripping the Band-Aid off the scab of civility and will not cease until our enemies have been vanquished. And by enemies, I mean any imbecile stupid enough to cheer on some shallow, rabble-rousing diatribe like that. You thought I was your hero? I'm not. I always play dirty and I never fight fair. The only side I'm on is my own. And the only place I'll lead you is off a cliff. So do not put me on a pedestal, because I will burn it down.
Doing?
I never agreed to this.
So you're gonna torpedo it for the rest of us? You're my best friend, but can you be a little less Wednesday? This is supposed to be our best year ever.
Hey everyone, thanks for watching our show today. We just wanted to take some time to give a special shout out to our collaborator, Cat and Raven Design. They are a small queer-owned business that specializes in LGBTQ plus pride soaps. They have great designs, some that even look good to eat, but don't. You can get 10% off your entire order if you use the code DSP or go to our link tree. Help support this great small business and help give back to a great community. Yeah, and we're back again.
Hey, we're back. We're live. Not gonna lie, I thought I was gonna pass out earlier today. Part of my finger, part of my finger damn near ripped off, Spence. I was cleaning out stuff and the nail, damn near, it was terrifying. But I'm alive. I'm doing it. All right, let's get into the show.
Awesome. All right. So as you can see, we have a guest today. So Zahraa, you were diagnosed at 4, but it took 8 years to fully understand your identity. What was your journey like, and how did it shape you for today?
In one word, shit.
Okay.
That's something I would not let anyone else go through, especially when you're a kid who's diagnosed in 2010 and there's complete lack of awareness on autism and very outdated.
Yeah, go ahead. What was it like after the diagnosis?
So my parents never informed me that I was autistic. I actually had to find that out for myself. Very interesting life path, I guess. But like I relate to people who grew up undiagnosed because we share there are similarities between us, which is that I've been bullied, I've been excluded, I simply did not know how socializing worked. I had self-help books, which did not work. I watched movies and sort of took in the character's persona. Excuse me.
When you did the self-help books, was it like self-help, like how to socialize books, how to make friends books? I've had my clients do that.
Yeah. But I recently sold my books through Zifit, although it's not called Zifit anymore. I just wanted to get rid of it. And I remember kind of skimming through it. Some parts were just low-key outdated.
Yeah.
Like it just would not work. Like in today's day and age. Um, so I was heavily bullied. I bullied, excluded, ignored. I struggled with self-acceptance and people pleasing. I did not build my own foundation. I lacked confidence and self-esteem. I thought that, being a good person means overextending to everyone and being
Common.
like nice to everyone and pour into everyone's cups by your own. But right now, I don't care. I only pour into mine and others when I can. So I prioritize me and myself, which is something 9-year-old Zahraa is so proud of.
When did you realize, or when did it come to fruition that you were like autistic? So if the parents didn't tell you, did someone else tell you? Did you just finally come to realize it after Googling? What was the vibe?
So I remember I was sitting in this storage room and just going through some files, and there was this envelope. And I mean, I have it with me now. There was just like an envelope, and it talked about my induction day at primary school. And because I joined in quite late, in March of 2010, so I was basically the new kid, and then it read that, and then as I was reading, it the line where it says she is autistic or she has autism spectrum disorder, that's when it hit. And even though I didn't know what it was at that
No.
time, I knew it was the key to open the door.
Nice. How long did it take you to start doing some of that other stuff to rewrite your behaviors, the way you felt about yourself and pouring into your own cup?
Um, so when I was younger and even to the point of last year, I heavily struggled with people pleasing. Um, I struggled to say no. I did not want to disappoint people. I wanted everyone to like me, but it's just not worth it. It's never worth it. And it got to a point where I was like, you know what? I've had enough. I've had enough. I want to focus on me. What do I want? What are my boundaries? And so as I was saying, I just had enough. What do I want? What makes me happy? What are my boundaries?
Yep.
I don't care that people don't like me. I don't even like everyone.
True.
That's it.
There you go.
So for you, for say writing, stuff like that, writing is an important thing for you. Um, how did that get started? How did your writing get started, and has that helped your storytelling through the years?
Well, right now I classify myself as an ex-author. So, writing throughout high school helped me gain confidence in English because this was a subject I mostly struggled on. And I came out with 2 9s, which in America I assume the highest grade is like A plus or something. Um, so I came out with that for my GCSEs. Um, I did English A level 2, which is a 2-year course, um, where you study 3 subjects in deep, intense environment, as I like to say it. Um, honestly, it was very difficult compared to GCSEs. I think the main factor was that we were the first year group to do our GCSE exams after COVID. Like when I say after COVID, I mean after lockdown because COVID still exists. So
So you were talking
yeah,
about these things you're talking about are classes or exams for English? Is that what you're talking about?
yeah, that's what I'm on about.
Okay.
But writing in general, I somehow dreamed I wanted to be an author. I was mostly inspired by John Green, The Fault in Our Stars. It still is my favorite book and one of my favorite movies as well. excuse me. Um, so I wanted to write something of my own, and I love writing romance, and it must have a tragedy at the end. I hate happy endings.
Oh my God. What does tragedy mean? Like they die or they just don't make it? You know, what does tragedy mean?
I'll let you interpret that.
Okay. They're dead. They're 100% dead. So you don't still write now?
No, I don't write anymore. After once I started A levels, I was going to write what would have been my sixth book, but I completely lost motivation. And you know what? Sometimes you need to give up on your old dreams so you can make for so you can make room for new
New
dreams,
things.
and yeah,
Yeah.
and things that give you a lot of purpose. And here I am, doing content creating and advocating online.
Did you use any of your writings to process thoughts, feelings, and emotions, the things that you were going through in life?
Yes, I often, with each character, they often represent my life or me as a whole. So I'm not talking about me as a whole person. I'm also talking about the things I've seen, things I've experienced, things people told me, things I've witnessed, things I've read, the media that I consumed, etc. Everything that was in my stories, all five of them contained everything about me. They all they all had a part of me,
Mhm.
especially for my fifth book. The two protagonists, Ray and T, both of them represent me. One of them, I gave them my social extrovert side. I enjoy meeting new people. And then meanwhile, I gave the other one like a deep, deep desire for deep connections and extremely introverted. And I think it's the best thing that I've ever done. So if you're going to finish something, finish it with a bang. And that's clearly what I did.
Is a tragedy though? Like, yeah, you said is a tragedy in that one? They died too in that one? Well, yeah.
It's bittersweet.
Okay.
Oh,
Well,
yes.
all right. You burned it down.
I was nice.
Okay.
Could have been
Uh,
worse.
so, what made you want to become a lawyer or go to school for being a lawyer?
Classic answer, my parents.
God damn it.
My parents told me to go into law. Um, but I wouldn't say this is my main motivation as it was before. Like right now, I don't know. I feel like law just connects us. It's served well, it's supposed to be served to protect us, but the problem is they're not enforced. And I'm currently reading international human rights, where the European Convention on Human Rights, they designed this whole convention surrounding human rights and had each nation from Europe sign in a, onto forming those fundamental human rights and you know applying them across every individual within their nation, and it's not to be breached. But seeing as what's going on today, especially in Ukraine and Russia, as well as if we get more international, Palestine and Israel, Congo, Sudan, Tigray, Iran. Right now it's Yemen, Haiti, America, all the countries around the world. They are there are genocides that are occurring, and most of them are completely silent, especially those that especially very racialized countries like Congo and Sudan, and many more that aren't white or are politically superior in a way. So
I agree.
there's that. I like to challenge concepts. I like to challenge opinions. I don't like staying quiet. If something is wrong, I'm gonna say it. I'm gonna call you out on it. And I enjoy reading. I really enjoy reading. And I while I enjoy debating. I enjoy arguing.
So you'd be good. You should be a good lawyer then.
Oh, good lawyer is an understatement, isn't it? I'll be the best lawyer.
Well, if I'm talking shit, I got you. Question though. So this advocacy that you've been doing, and I've been seeing you amongst a few others as well, calling people out, holding people accountable, calling people in.
Mm-hmm.
Is this also part of the justice that you want to see as well in law? Is making sure that these rules, these things are like followed and holding people accountable?
Absolutely. Like, you see Israel bombing, killing, raping, all of the atrocities that Israel is doing, and yet they stay quiet about it, even though this is clearly breaching international human rights law. And let's go way back. The reason why this was started, this whole international human rights and European Convention of Human Rights, was all because of the atrocities that happened in the Second World War, where nations came together and said, you know what? We saw what we saw. This was the second time. We've had enough. It's time to place in those human rights so this shit won't happen again. And even though they've been applied, they have not been enforced. There's the difference.
Correct.
And that's what I'm mad about.
I can tell.
We are seeing history repeat itself. And as Wednesday said, if you do not learn from your history, you are doomed to repeat it. And we clearly haven't learned from it. And I'm angry. I'm pissed.
Facts. I thought the same as well when I saw that in the scene. Thank you for that. I appreciate it.
Of course.
Trudging along here. So what would you say is something that you wish you would have taught yourself when you were younger that you would know now? What was something that you wish you could speak to like your younger self and say, hey, I wish I would have known this
That's a good
when
one.
I was younger?
So what age are we talking about?
Any age you want to start with. Any age that you feel like was somewhat, maybe you were just innocent and then all of a sudden you're like, let's start maybe like 5 years old.
Yeah.
Let's go that.
Elementary school. Yeah.
Well, on a general note, I do not believe about, oh, I wish I should have done this and whatnot, because if I went back at 5 years old, having the knowledge I have now, what would I have developed? What would I have grown into? Would I have even grown anyway? What life is that? It's so boring. But what I do know is that at 5 years old, I knew that I wanted to be a Disney princess from a very young.
I'm sorry for laughing. I didn't see that one coming.
So she'll probably ask me, Zahraa, are we a princess now? And I'm like, no. But we rose up to become a queen. That's what I tell her.
I like that one.
Mm-hmm. And I'm so glad 5-year-old self grew up with Barbie. And I mean 2000s Barbie, because I look back at it and I'm like, wow, I was raised with pure feminism right then and there. Especially the movie. I was 8 years old when I watched it. It was Barbie and the Musketeers and the Three Musketeers. That movie made me want to be a musketeer myself. I'm like, I felt badass after hearing certain songs. I'm like, wow, I want to do that. So, boom. All versions of me will be proud of where I am today, and my future self will be 10 times proud of me as well.
Barbie and the Musketeers. Holy shit, this is a film. 2009. Look at that. So that's the younger version of you. What about the high school version of you going into college? Any words of wisdom that you would give them? Or any other young women that are going into college that are neurodivergent autistic?
So when you guys say college, do you mean
University.
like uni?
Uni, yeah.
Okay. Hmm. What would I tell myself going to uni? You are not gonna you forget about high school. Like, don't bother seeing your teachers again. Like, I hate to break it to you, but your teachers are just there for a season. They're only there to teach you for a certain period of time. Especially with my English teacher, I was so close with my English teacher, but then I found out he blocked me on Instagram as well as my friend, my other best friend, and I was like, I don't want to know why. Like, you've done your part, I've done my part.
Yeah.
Bye bye. So it's not that deep. I don't really care about it. But most importantly, I would tell myself to never ever put anything above your health, above your dignity. Nothing. Because throughout sixth form, that's when I've changed. And I I wasn't doing very well in sixth form. Like, I barely survived. It was ridiculously intense, let alone for an autistic person. And it was incredibly strict as well. And and I felt suffocated throughout my A levels. But I don't regret choosing the subjects that I wanted to study for A levels, especially politics, because I actually failed politics A level, and like like in the US, you guys have an F, which means for fail,
Yes.
whereas in the UK, our F is a U. So I translated that as you are the best, which clearly I am. I'm clearly, like, you see my highlights, I'm very political. I'm
Narcissistic personality disorder. Check. Oh, sorry.
Yeah, I don't think I don't believe in NPD. And there are and just because somebody has NPD doesn't equal them being evil.
Yeah,
So
yeah, yeah, yeah. So, question for you. You said it was intense. Does that mean mentally intense, physically intense? Because you said it was your health.
and
Does that mean that health was deteriorating because of the stress?
I was burnt out.
Yes.
I remember after winter mock exams, I was so burnt out. And it was the longest burnout I've ever had to go through. It was so intense and so bad.
What is it? Could you give us maybe for some of the folks that are listening? Burnout means a lot of different things for a lot of folks. Could you give us some symptoms or symptomologies if you're okay sharing that?
At
If
this
you can
point, I don't.
remember. You just
Mm,
remember being tired.
I just felt drained. I my head, the way sometimes what it would do is that it feels like there's a giant, like, big block of something that's like you feel your brain that's filling up, but the problem is there's nothing there. Um, but one of the biggest traits was I would often do my homework the last minute, and
Procrastination.
it was ridiculous because they set homework at, let's say, Wednesday, and then they're like, okay, and the way they set the homework was 10 times worse. One homework would equal three parts. Three parts. One of them would be like pre-reading. The second one would be to do a whole essay. And the third one would just be like proof of revision. And if you don't do one of those parts, detention. Like,
Yeah. Okay.
or if you didn't do it up to their standard, detention. So it's like, are you kidding me? I have other homeworks that are due tomorrow that I end up doing Wednesday's homework on Thursday. So
Okay. Yeah.
clearly
Mind numbing.
it was a system thing.
Disturbing. Yeah. What else you got, Spence?
So for some of the people that may not be familiar, what does ASPE supremacy mean?
Valid.
So I explained that literally everywhere as much as possible, even on my YouTube page. Um, so Aspie supremacy is a type of ableism where autistic people discriminate other autistic people. They perceive themselves as better than certain autistic people, particularly those who are marginalized or have higher support needs. And in most cases, they project superiority over neurotypicals or allistics.
Do you see that a lot in your spaces, personal spaces, or do you see a lot online? Where do you see that happen a lot?
Most in my personal experience has been online.
Okay. And then do you like say things about that? Do you call people in, call people out about that? Like, hey, this is wild, this shit.
Yes, I do call people out, hence I created my own series, Don't Be an Ass, because it was designed to call out the concepts. And so originally what I was going to do is that I was going to call out people, but then after I called out Chloe Hayden and done the post and everything, blah blah blah, got to a point where I made a post, had a reel, made a reel saying how she blocked me, because she did, um, after attempting to hold her accountable for her actions and her irresponsibility. I stepped back and I'm like, even though what I did was correct, the facts are correct. It's not done it's not done out of malice. This could endanger someone's life. I could get one thing wrong and they'll be quick to unalive themselves. And I'm like, I don't want this to be a page of criticizing people. So
True.
the way I channeled it now is that I don't call people out anymore. It's
Okay.
completely exhausting.
It
I
is.
protect my energy. I prioritize it now. So what I would do is that through my through my advocacy, not just in Don't Be an Ass, but in my stories and whatnot. And when I say stories, I mean Instagram stories.
Yep.
Is that you just call out the concepts. So, for example, what's an episode I could talk about? Strong sense of justice. Let's talk about that. So, when people when a lot of autistic people perceive themselves as superior because they have this strong sense of justice where it doesn't exist. It's not a trait. And in a way, is portraying autistic people as if they are morally superior, they can do no wrong, which is a very, very dangerous generalization because it leads to autistic people lacking accountability and not being held to the standards of everyone else when they've done something wrong. So as I
That
said,
makes
Chloe
sense.
Hayden's an example. Paige Leal is another example. Elon Musk with his Nazi salute at Trump's inauguration and everything in between. Sia, um, Temple Grandin.
Why do you
All
think? Why do you think people have like that Aspie supremacy like vibe? Why do you? A lot of people will be like, "We're the next human in evolution in humanity." You see that shit a lot on the internet.
So
the
as you
question,
were saying,
yeah. So you see all these things. Why do people think that this is like cool to say we're the next step in evolution, that we're better than people because we're more feeling things or we're smarter or more logical? I see a lot of people saying we're more logical. What do you think that is that pushes people to say those generalizations?
so I am an ex-Aspie supremacist. So but the main reason why I was doing, I feel like looking through all of this, you have to look through the constant themes that they constantly talk about. And one of those themes is being better than neurotypicals. They're like,
Mm-hmm.
oh, they're this, they're that, whatnot. And it's often derived from trauma. It's derived in being constantly bullied, excluded, left out, all of that. So it's sort of like a movie thing where you have been pressured into being absolutely left out like an outcast and humiliated because of your existence. You start to sort of channel it and start entering your villain era. But it's not healthy. This is not the healthy way to go about your trauma. Because what difference does it make if you say like, oh, I'm better than neurotypicals? Then what? Then what?
You see it a lot. People say it a lot.
I mean, I fell victim for that as well. And another reason is because since I was new to this whole like autism community and that kind of thing, and you are more susceptible to
A lot.
impressions and influence. I'm like, oh, okay, so many people are doing that, so I'm gonna copy them because that's what's popular. But let me tell you something. Just because something is popular does not mean it's right, it's safe, and guarantees you any goodness. That's what I learned. Sometimes the unpopular way is the healthy way.
I will agree with that. Appreciate it. Thank you.
What would you say is something that you like to do outside of advocacy, law school? Is there anything like what else are you passionate about?
Michael Jackson.
There you go, Michael Jackson.
They wanted to do the pod on Michael Jackson. I was like, I can't. There's no way we can pull any clips on this. I don't know. This shit's all gonna get blocked. And then like someone told me maybe we can do like this movie or this or that, and I was like, brother, I don't know how we're gonna do this. Why Michael Jackson? It just the moves.
No, it's more about his impact on the world.
You always been a fan of Michael MJ? Is it, or is this like a recent thing?
It's pretty recent. 2 years now.
You ever write about him? In your writings or no?
I did write a little analogy on like what it's like being autistic through Michael Jackson's songs, but that was when I was 17.
Okay. Spence, who would
Other
you?
than that,
Sorry, Spence, who would you say Michael Jackson is like equivalent to now, like nowadays?
Nobody.
He would be higher or lower?
What do you mean, higher or lower?
Like in status, is he like Taylor Swift fucking status, Beyonce status? I assume, or past that status.
He's always gonna be higher.
Always
They
higher.
still talk about him.
Yeah, that's what I figured.
Dead, and they still talk about him. So.
There you go.
one thing
know.
you should learn: never ever question Michael Jackson's status.
It's true.
Okay.
It's very true.
Yep. Stepped right into that shit. Okay. Well.
Never equate Michael Jackson's status to anyone.
Okay.
It's true.
What's your favorite? Do you like the music too?
I love the music.
Do you have a favorite song?
No.
They're all good.
They're too good.
That's what I thought. You just stumble upon it, or did your family put you on it? What was it?
No, I stumbled upon it myself. I was listening to Bad repeatedly, and I'm like, you know what? This is actually so cool. Let's see what other Michael Jackson songs there is. And the biggest regret ever was searching up, thinking it was not gonna be as good as I thought.
Mm.
So
Got it.
the second I played Billie Jean, boom. Here I am now.
Love it. Love it. Love it. I remember watching the music videos when I was a kid, Spence, like, and the werewolf and all that shit, man. I was actually scared. And it was on like all day too, all day, every day.
Not bad.
Hello.
Yeah. I was like, bro, does this shit happen?
What do you expect? That's Michael.
But they're dancing, so they look like they're having fun. But people dying. People. Not. I'm just thinking about Detroit now because when he was a kid, it was all in Detroit back in the day, all that Motown record stuff.
Well, he was actually from Gary, Indiana. But
there you go. I'm talking about when he was singing with everybody else.
Maybe say homeboy. All right.
Bruh.
So let's get into the movie.
Let's do it.
Let's get into the movie or the show. Let's get into the show.
Yeah.
What about Wednesday speaks to you to make you want to talk about it? What about her personality, her stoicism? Like what is it that you like about her?
Well, first and foremost, I really love her aesthetic.
Mm.
It's literally my aesthetic as well. I love gothic, but at the same time, it's very like formal and corporate in a way. So I'm like, I just love her fashion style, but that's not the main thing. The main thing about it is that she's her own person. She does not give a shit about what other people think. She speaks her mind, stands up for the truth. That's it.
So is this like your favorite version of Wednesday? You know, because they had the Christina Ricci one, and then they also had like the TV show and like some cartoons and stuff like that. Is this your favorite version with Jenna Ortega?
That's the only version that I saw, which is Jenna Ortega's version.
Fair
Because
enough.
at that time, I was not really into the Addams family, or I barely acknowledge the existence of the Addams family until, you know,
This
Jenna Ortega's Wednesday performance was incredibly public and
Mhm.
Sp-
for the media.
Spence, is it? I'm fuzzy on it all because it's too old. Are they vastly different the ways in which they're presented, or no?
No, I mean, like Wednesday's still a very straightforward, straight shooter, and
Yeah,
bullies her brother, and they just fight all the time.
yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's pretty similar. They do a pretty good job of making just the characters pretty close together. I mean, they go a little bit more in depth since it's a show.
Yep, yep,
Um, so
yeah. Which is the one? I'm mixing this up, but right now is that the Monsters? Whose cousin it? Whose cousin it? Is that the Monsters or the Addams family cousin it?
that's Adam's family.
That is Addams family. Okay, there you go.
Mhm.
When it comes to this version, though, Wednesday, do you have any friends? I always wonder this because the thing online, right, is like you got two versions of autism, right? Or the diaspora is two vastly different. You got her roommate, right, and then you got her. Do you have any Enids in your life or no?
That's a good question. Um, hmm, I feel like I definitely got a little. I mean, I would say two of my closest friends are similar to Enid, but the difference is they're very introvert.
Okay,
They're very introverted. So they're an introverted version of Enid.
there you go. She's very, very extroverted.
Hmm.
Spoiler alert, I gotta ask you this. Are you cool with the way Enid treated that boy and like kind of like dumped him and talking to the other boy? She avoided it so bad. I'm like, girl, this is fucked up. This is not right.
Wait, remind me, please.
You know, she's dating that wolf guy, the other wolf guy, right? And then she dumped the scorpion head guy. I'm like, this is so sad. That poor boy.
What the hide? Tyler.
Not the hide, right?
Oh, sorry.
Yes.
I'm so sorry. I was thinking. I thought you were talking about Wednesday for a minute. I was
No,
like,
I'm thinking of her. Yeah.
Oh,
She
honestly, I don't care.
oh my God.
Don't care.
I felt so bad
Yeah.
for him. She just shits all over. I'm like, girl, just tell him that you don't like him. She's like, I can't do it. I'm like, you're killing
Yeah.
him.
Communication.
Communication is key. Is
Mhm.
key. So
It's not that deep.
have you met any other characters other than Wednesday? Because I know I'm going to pivot real quick before we get into the show. You brought up multiple characters that you wanted to bring up or bring to the show, but do you feel the most congruent with Wednesday, or there's a few other characters you're like, I like this too?
The thing about me is that generally I just tend to forget the characters and like the movies and everything and
Yeah.
just rather focus on myself. So they sort of like come and go in a way. But yeah, the one I told you about was Red, and it's mostly because I'm fed up with people. I'm fed up with
That was from
people.
Angry Birds, right?
Yeah,
Yeah,
from
yeah.
Angry Birds.
Yeah. I thought it was funny.
Good franchise, not gonna lie.
All right. Well, yeah, let's
Oh,
get.
and
Go ahead.
what's her name? Ember. If I had to put these three, I would say Wednesday one, Ember second, and Red the least I relate to. Ember because she's very hyper independent and doesn't want to fall in love and that kind of thing. And also, like me, no patience.
This was from Elemental or no? What was that from?
Yes,
I
from
thought so. Yeah. Yeah, we did that a while ago too. That was a good movie. I enjoyed it. Let's dive back into the scene. Spence, you got any questions about the scene, Spence?
So, what was the main reason you wanted to pick this scene out of all the scenes in Wednesday, especially season 1?
I just picked the things that I relate to the most, and mostly because of the maximum amount of clips that I could put. So if
You're
I have to
good.
go find something, I have to find something that is 80 to 100% me.
Okay.
And this scene here though, well, why was just the 80 to 100%? What are the few things that you wanted to touch on in this scene?
So which scene are we talking about
This
firstly?
this is the first one that we talked about.
Dreams.
Oh, the first scene, the confrontation between the principal and okay. So the reason why is because I had a couple of people say to me, Zara, you gotta have like a balance in life. It's not everything black and white and whatnot. But I do view the world as black and white. But I am starting to see like a few, I wouldn't say few, a teeny weeny shades of gray, or as I personally like to say, there are shades of white as there are shades of black. So
I like that.
yeah.
I will actually steal that. Maybe we don't. Maybe we can't find the gray, but we sure can find a different fucking shade of white or black. I like
Mhm.
that. Okay.
Yeah. So there's that. But then when I watched the scene, um, as I mentioned, it's about when she's not afraid to question authority. She's not afraid to question about the truth. And she doesn't want history to repeat itself. And what me and her both share is that we don't want to be complicit in any some sort of violence or systematic oppression. So for me, it's gone to a point where I tried to stop saying certain words that may that are normalized but have been historically rooted in systematic oppression. So common words include stupid, dumb, idiot, etc. Where I tell this to so many people, I'm like, you shouldn't say that because this was stemmed in ableism and was used to dehumanize those who are intellectually disabled. And 9 out of 10 times they're like, oh, okay, I'm so sorry, I didn't know that. But then that 1 out of 10 time, it's pretty annoying where they come up with justification like, well, I'm disabled, so I can say it too. Oh, I can reclaim it, blah blah blah. And I'm like, well, if you don't, unless you got intellectual disability, you have no say on whether you can reclaim it or not. So there's that. And then another one is the B word, bitch. And this is something that I'm seeing so much. And it's just that like and I used it so many times as in terms of empowerment and whatever. But historically it literally means female dog. Like I I am not an animal. I will not be treated like an animal. So I refuse to use that word and instead I say I'm a baddie. There, use that. It's expected. It's unfortunately expected when it's in men, but with women, I'm disappointed.
So when it comes to honesty, this is what you were talking about in the scene. Is she does her best to be most honest. Wednesday, she usually shoots right forward. She doesn't care really what's going on, and it's not intentional. Not trying to hurt anyone. They're just doing and saying what they think and feel is the right thing.
Mhm.
Yes.
Yeah.
Uh, yes, because we touched on the history and not repeating that. When you have you ever been in a situation with a elder though, like her or like a principal, and like tried to correct them on something? Or is it always with your peers? That's what I was wondering while watching the clip.
I'm having a déjà vu right now. I feel like I did have. Hmm.
Because a lot of times we're talking to our peers,
Yeah.
colleagues about stuff like this. Sometimes it gets into superiors, bosses, professors, teachers, but a good majority of the time we don't really say a lot back to them because in fear
Yeah,
that they could
sorry.
control something
Yeah.
or harm us, retaliation.
I've heard some teachers say questionable things, but either I would not interfere or I would, but it's done in a very, very shy manner because I did not want to get into trouble. That I was a whole goody two shoes. When the thing about me was that I was never a good student. I was a complicit student. Complicity does not mean you're good.
Hmm.
And the thing about me was that I witnessed so much systematic oppression and so many things that were wrong, performative activism, but I couldn't speak on it because it's like, oh my God, if I speak on them, they will give me detention, they will shout at me, they will, belittle me, etc. So, is that really a thing as a good student? Because for me, I feel like I was complicit. And now I'm not complicit anymore.
Okay.
I'm good now.
All right. That's good enough for
But
me.
But going back to your question, I do personally feel like there's been a few times where, trying to think right now. I want to give like a very good example. Um, hmm.
Because most of my dialogues are with peers. Every once in a while, it's with older folks.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's pushing back
Mhm.
on professors or supervisors, bosses. There's a lot of stuff happening now in America that's like pretty wild, where
Yeah.
we cannot say or do certain
Okay.
things or publicize certain things because the schools, universities are afraid of their funding being taken. And so there's been a
Yeah.
lot of conversations and arguments happening in the meetings, which I was a part of, no longer as of last Thursday. So it's just been interesting, right? Fighting back and being like, what are we doing? Who are we protecting? Yeah, so that's all.
I got one example.
Go ahead.
So my maths teacher, oh my goodness, she had a seating plan where she would put the smartest people at the back and unfortunately the least able to do maths at the front. She calls it the front row of shame. And by her perspective, it's more about challenging and competing and whatever. But all it did for me was just give me anxiety. In fact, not just me, but many other students too. And it was ableist as well. And she's done this for whether a decade or two, and nobody said anything. And when I do talk about it, they would repeat the same thing. It's like they would often be on a teacher side, which I understand it's you want to be professional, but you know, I'd rather have you say like, yo, this teacher is not doing great and tell me the truth rather than protecting your own image based on systematic oppression and violence. Like, do you care about does your image matter more than your students?
Yeah, that can cause a lot of anxiety for a lot of people, a lot of other things too. A lot of shame, a lot of guilt, a lot of fear.
Another one. I got the second one, and this is my absolute favorite.
Okay, and then we'll pivot to the next scene.
Of course, of course. When I was in year 10, I realized there's hardly anything like there was hardly any education on autism being taught to these students. So I went to my head of year. I'm like, yo, there's not been anything about autism in our pastoral, which for Americans, it's this like little 30-minute class session where you just talk about like life outside of school, like, career, drugs, health, etc. So I'm like, well, autism is not there. Disability acceptance is not there. This needs to be done. And a year later, I I in fact I pressured her to do to give her the PowerPoint slide and put all
In the curriculum.
everything about autism, yeah, so
Nice.
it can be put into pastoral or form time. And just and it was in April as well, which was good because it's autism month there. Finally, it did happen. So
There you go. Yeah, it did.
there,
There you go. Okay, perfect.
proud of myself.
Yeah, same. Let's
Continue with the next.
let's do into the second scene. What we got here?
Yeah. So this is with the new superintendent, Dort. He went and he wanted to have this celebration of just the celebration to celebrate all the beginning of the year. And we have him showing off this photo or this painting of Wednesday and the whole crew um, doing a pose and saving the school, right? You said you did not like if you would have done the same thing if you were Wednesday, if you would have been shown this picture. What about that picture would have pissed you off?
If I had a painting that did not express anything that I stood up for, then I have every right to be angry. And in Wednesday's case, the reason why I was so angry is because you would not see Wednesday smile and holding up like the song, go like, "Yeah, we did it." No, she would not care. Do you know what I mean? So I was just as mad as she was. Like the second I saw that draped down, I'm like, nope, 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 nope. It's unacceptable. Please burn it.
She's also too smart to know
what they're doing.
that homeboy's just trying to use her image to get more students money, finances, right? And she knows homeboy's a grifter. I'm super surprised. I can't wait to see how bad of a dude he is, because I know he's bad. I just don't know how bad.
Terrible.
Yeah, he's terrible. When you see her burn the thing down, I assume that you were like giddy. I assume that were you happy? Were you laughing? What was the vibe?
I was like, yeah,
Jeez.
as it should. It was like it was your it's like disappointed but not surprised, but it's like happy but not surprised.
Yeah. There you go. I guess this leans into good as like how I came upon your material, right? Is you start expressing, and a lot of stuff went viral with that other actress from the Spence. We did a podcast on the TV show. What was that TV show that she's in that's super famous?
Heartbreak High.
Heartbreak High. There it is. And so that's when I met you, and you're like, hey, I was like, hey, you want to talk about some of this on the pod? I'm gonna give you like a little microphone to talk into. You're like, I'm done talking about this shit. And you told us kind of why, right? Because you don't also want to lead your advocacy and calling people out. Maybe, people get offended. Maybe they take their own lives. I get that. So I feel like a lot of people might have put you on a pedestal at that moment because what you were doing, and maybe thinking that you were some hero. I think maybe, as an autistic person, in law school, blah, blah, blah. I think maybe a lot of people will look at us and like as inspiration porn, they call it. And so I'm sure that feels gross as well too. So this hero vibe, I know you said you're no one's hero, but I'm sure people think that you're a hero or like you're this awesome thing. How does it feel? How do you combat that? How was it when that post went kind of viral?
Well, it depends on why you see me as a hero. If you see me as a hero simply just because I called out Chloe Hayden, then no. You don't know me, you don't know what I do. You only saw like 2 or 1% of what I do rather than the whole 99%. Um, I don't see myself as a hero, and you shouldn't too. I am doing what everyone else should have been doing, and is to speak up about injustices, and is to educate and be willing to learn about the world as it is right now and how we can combat systematic oppression and the hierarchy that has been imported by systematic oppression and violence, and not allow history to repeat itself. So I'm not going to sit there and judge you like, oh, don't call me a hero or whatnot. Like, I'm not going to like shame you for that. Go ahead. I can't control your thoughts, so if you want to see me as a hero, see me as a hero. Go ahead.
Are you okay with people looking up to you, maybe as a brown woman, autism, in uni, right? Trying to do their thing, right? Or would you be okay with people being like, oh man, that's pretty cool, I want to do that? Would you be okay with being inspiring to other brown girls?
I'm not brown, firstly. I'm Arab.
It's a good distinction.
Yeah. Brown is, from what I know, is more like in Southeast Asia. So, like mainly in India, Sri Lanka, that kind of thing. Whereas Arab is like
Arab's considered on the white race in America. I put the distinction as my skin's brown, thus I go by brown, but that's completely fine. I got you. So how would it feel like other Arab women? Are you cool with them looking up to you?
I don't care. Like I do, I just do what I do. I just want the truth to come out. If you like it, you like it. And if you accept it, you accept it. If you don't accept it, go ahead. So I like more of a chill vibe where it's like, oh wow, it's really good to, see you and see what you do. Because what often happens is there's a huge risk that I've seen with so many people, and is that when they put you on such a ridiculous pedestal and you haven't done self-work on yourself, even if you have done it, you still wouldn't want it. I certainly don't want it. So when people just come to you with constant praising and this unrealistic, like,
View.
yeah, this very unrealistic view, it's like there's a lot of pressure. I don't want that pressure. Number two, like, I'm going to be absolutely egotistical and I don't want that. And thirdly, I'm going to end up doing more harm than good. So at the end of the day, I am going to disappoint you. I'm going to piss you off. But as long as the truth comes out and I'm willing to hold myself accountable and actually learn, I don't care how you see me. I don't care.
Okay.
Bye-bye. 8 billion people in the world, and you gotta focus on me and try to tarnish my image. Very sad.
Last question I had. Do you see Wednesday as a hero?
No.
Why not?
Again, as I said, like,
Doing what she
'cause
should be doing.
exactly.
I knew it.
Yeah, like, I think at this point, like, this is something that I discussed on one of my lives, and it's that in this advocacy space, what we are doing is the bare minimum. Like, it's the standard to actually stand up against those who belittle us, who discriminate us, who, you know, just not doing any good thing,
Yep.
right? But so many people are so scared. And I'm not talking about those who are not speaking up for their own safety. Those are exempt. I'm talking about those who are privileged and safe enough to actually have the choice to stand up and use their platform, use their voice, even if it's so small. Like, it doesn't matter. You know, use your privilege to stand up for others.
For
They
good.
often cower themselves because it's like, I don't want to make this person mad. I want to be liked. I want to be this. I want to be that. So then my question is, would you rather be liked by everyone for simply telling a lie? Or would you rather be hated by most people but still but deeply appreciative for the truth that you done? And this is something
It's a
that
tough one.
Wednesday herself does, and this is something that I do. Throughout my life, people disliked me. A lot of people disliked me. Primary school, high school, even in uni right now, people don't like me. I don't care. Not my problem. I'm not there to satisfy you. Go ahead, dislike me all you want. I ain't gonna change for you. I mean, if I'm willing to change, I'm only doing it for me.
Yeah.
So yeah, I don't see Wednesday as a hero.
Okay.
I do not.
And then that leads us into our last scene.
Yeah. Wanted to talk about quality over quantity. Um, how does this relate to you as a person?
It mostly applies to me in terms of friendships.
Mm,
Despise I despise having a massive circle of people. Coming from experience and from what I've seen, bigger circles equal toxicity. That's how it is. Like, the second I see a huge circle, boom, I know there's drama, there's toxicity, there's tons of red flags, everyone's gonna get split up. Whereas for me, I I I like I want loyalty. I I want loyalty as the main key. And by loyalty, I mean you standing there with me through thick and thin, while supporting me. You call me out on my BS. You call me out on my bullshit. Like, be deeply honest with me, even if it hurts me. Like, honestly, I don't care if you hurt me. I really don't care. And most importantly, and this is something that unfortunately not many people think it's that deep, but it really is. Stand up for your friends. Are you kidding me? Like, there are people out there who are like, so let's say you have like a misunderstanding of like a person. No, sorry. So let's say someone's been done dirty to you, and then you go and hang out with that person who done you dirty, and then you have the audacity to come up to me and be like, well, I have a good relationship with them, so I'm not gonna sabotage myself just because it's a problem between both of you. Really? Just go. Like, go and be with that disrespectful person who's not only going to do shit, who not only did shit to me, but they're bound to do shit to you. Especially if that person thrives on spreading rumors, creating false stories, and creating a whole false narrative just because you are so deep into your sadness and insecurity that you cannot control it. So you have to go and attempt to destroy other people's lives. These people piss me off. Oh my God.
Oh, you're
Like,
talking
I'm
about the
hurt.
bullying people. You're talking about the nasty people now.
Yeah, I'm
Yeah,
talking
yeah.
about bullying
Not the
people,
yeah.
nasty people.
Got it. So what you're talking about is
Uh,
loyalty, but also trust.
absolutely.
Yep, and not siding with someone, right, that deeply did hurt you, and they're like, oh, but we're okay. So I see that a lot in friendships, and I see a lot of autistic people have trouble navigating that too, because again, the people pleasing kicks up.
Of course.
So now, do
course.
they disappoint you? Do they disappoint the other person? Right, and it's like, well, we are good friends, and you've seen all these bad things.
Yeah.
Sadly, and I didn't mean to cut you off, but sadly, I see this a lot in actual romantic relationships too.
Yeah.
Where they'll see their partner say something or do something bad to someone else, or a waitress, waiter, whatever it is, maybe someone at the store, but like they didn't do it to me. But I'm like, but they're being
They're gonna
really,
do it to you.
they're being really nasty to a lot of people continuously. So sometimes it's nuanced, but then sometimes you're like, wait a minute, we're getting to some dangerous waters here.
Yeah.
Sometimes you have to peel back the layers, and you're like, oh, they are treating you poorly, and you just didn't see it. I agree with that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
To this day, I'm still trying to figure out whether or not it's disrespectful for your friend to be with someone. I'm not talking about like bullying, but like what about people who just simply could not get along? Um like I had someone who attempted to manipulate me um and try to portray me as the villain and try to get to serve them in a way. Um so and this had run through my mind a lot, which I'm over it by now. Like I don't care anymore. But so then there's also nuance as to like, okay, did we really dislike each other or did they really done me dirty? Like, who knows? I mean, time will tell. Like, if they're meant to be, they'll stay. If not, bye. At least I'll find better people.
So it's
But
not always about quantity with you and many of us. A lot of neurodivergent folks, it's just having good people. I always tell clients and students, hey, as long as you got like one, you don't need to have
yeah,
like 30 friends. Like that's not a thing.
so
Uh,
overwhelming.
very overwhelming. I don't know how you juggle that many people, and actually how
For
you
real.
real with that many people. But I think that's a big thing that a lot of folks, and I love that you said that. It's about quality. I think most of our followers and listeners would agree with that too. Yeah. You got any other seasoning for us, Spence? Any other questions?
No, that's all I got, unless you got something.
Now that hit up all the topics that I wanted. Honesty, truth. I wanted them to also talk and advocate for some of the things that they were talking about. I knew that they were going to be very spot on with some of the things when it comes to marginalization, oppression, speaking up for others. Love the loyalty bit. Spencer talks about that a lot too. Just appreciate you coming on. I'm glad that you picked some scenes for us. I know sometimes that's really hard. I had to shoot down some of the other stuff, Michael Jack. I'm so sorry. I'm glad that you picked this though. This was a good topic.
Thank you so much for coming on, Zahraa. Appreciate it. With that, I'm Spencer. That's Nas, Different Spectrums Podcast.
All right, everyone. Much appreciation, much love. And remember, take care of yourselves.
Or don't.
That's completely up to you. Peace.